Let's do a quick demo here on doing cross-section sheets. Pretty easy to do. Of course, as I said in the earlier video, make sure you have the proper model open for where you're putting your named boundaries. So for cross-sections, you have to have the 3D model open. It's also a good habit to get into. Keep the plan view open as well. As you're laying out the named boundaries, they will temporarily show up in the plan view. Then when you ultimately place them, they will end up in the 3D model. So that's what I have here. Let's go ahead and go to the drawing production, name boundaries. Again, we're doing cross sections, so we're going to use that fourth icon over, civil cross sections. As far as the drawing seeds for this workspace, we only have two to pick from, the rural 10 scale and the urban 5 scale. I'm going to go with the 10 scale in this particular demo. And everything else should be set. What I didn't mention in the other video is the numbers here are pretty much set so that they will fit in the window for the sheet that they're going into. So for plan and profile, the length of the plan essentially is as much as will fit in a across a plan sheet. For cross section, we're looking at the left and right offsets. Okay, these numbers here total 250. So you can actually change any and all of these numbers if you want to, but I recommend don't go any wider on a cross section and don't go any longer than the length that shows up for the plan. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, so step 1, civil cross sections. Step 2, drawing seats. Step 3, the alignment. Click, click, click. And now I'm just going to kind of just go through again. None of these numbers need to be changed here. They should all help out. Always keep that create drawing dialog off, and I'm going to place the start location. I'm going to go all the way to the beginning at 20 plus 00 and left click. And now as I move my mouse, it will start laying out those temporary cross sections. Again, they're not showing up in 3D just yet until I place it. So the temporary graphics are here in the 2D plan view. Again, the width of the lines that you see temporary are based off of the numbers here. The spacing is for the interval and so on. I'm just going to lay out a few of them here to get a couple of sheets. That's all I care about. I'm going to left click to place them temporarily and left click to accept those. And then you can see those boundaries are actually ended up placed in the 3D model. Okay, so that's good. Now we're going to go ahead and create the sheet. So go to the name boundary manager. You'll see we have a cross section group here. Everything is kind of as you would expect, toggled on. You click on them, they will highlight in the 3D view. Always turn on that create drawing dialog button, and I'm going to select the cross section group, and I'm going to go up here and create the cross section drawing. You can always also right click on any of these and create the appropriate drawing that you want. Okay, so I'm going to do it up here though, and I'm going to go ahead and click that dialog or click that button. Dialog comes up, cross sections. Again, nothing needs to be changed. You do want to make sure your annotation group is set to cross section grid with annotation. There's other ones available as well if you wanted to do something different. There's a few of them in this workspace here. End area volumes, the guardrail, cable barrier, that's the the cell placement. I would recommend maybe putting those in after the fact and doing a model annotation as opposed to doing it right here. This cross section grid with anno puts the grid and it annotates the points on the cross section. Okay, everything else again is already preset from the seed. I'm going to just go ahead and click OK and let this go ahead and create the sheets. You'll see it's building the models down there, placing the cross sections in the sheets. Give that a minute. Takes a little bit longer. That's also why I didn't place these all the way along the entire length of the corridor. So something, if you're going to be testing this out, sometimes just a few cross sections is enough to make sure you get a couple of sheets worth. You don't want to necessarily do the entire length of the alignment because it will take a little bit longer to process. And here we have it. Our sheets are done. I'm going to close the dialog. That's the last sheet. I'm just going to pick any, pick the first sheet's fine. So you'll see that the cross sections are there. The annotation is there. Okay. Let's pick a drawing model. Doesn't matter. You'll see the annotations there. Now there is some cleanup that needs to be done. These are the station. You can see I have to zoom way in to see that. Same thing with the offset numbers. These values are messed up. I got to clean that up a little bit. And over here as well. Alright, but those sheets seem to be working out Alright, so that is the cross-section sheets.